Hello students, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will go through the NCERT question and answers from the chapter A Journey Through States of Water. I will also explain the answers in simple words so it will help you in your exams. Let us start with the first question. Which of the following best describes condensation? Option 1, the conversion of water into its vapor state. This is evaporation, not condensation. Option 2, the process of water changing from a liquid into gaseous state. This is vaporization, not condensation. Option 3, the formation of clouds from tiny water droplets. Clouds are formed due to condensation, but this option describes an example of condensation, not the correct definition. Option 4, the conversion of water vapor into its liquid state. This is the correct definition of condensation. Condensation happens when water vapor in the air cools down and changes back into liquid water. Therefore, the correct answer is option 4, the conversion of water vapor into its liquid state. Next question. Identify in which of the given processes evaporation is very important. Coloring with crayons, watercolors, acrylic colors and pencil colors. Crayons are made up of wax and pigments and are solid. No liquid is present. So, evaporation does not take place. In option B, watercolors. Watercolors contain water mixed with color pigments. After painting, the water evaporates, leaving the color on the paper. Therefore, evaporation is very important there. In option C, acrylic colors contain water and acrylic. Water may evaporate, but the paint mainly dries by forming a plastic-like film on the surface. So, evaporation is not the main reason for the color to remain. Option D, pencil colors. Pencil colors are solid pigments, so evaporation does not occur. Therefore, the correct answer is option B, watercolors. Next one is writing on paper with pencil, ink pen and ballpoint pen. Pencil writing is made from graphite, which is a solid material. Since there is no liquid, evaporation does not take place. Option B, ink pen. Ink in an ink pen is liquid. After writing on the paper, the liquid part of the ink evaporates, leaving the color on the paper. Therefore, evaporation is important here. And option C, ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pens contain thick paste-like ink. This ink mainly sticks to the paper and dries by absorption, so evaporation is not the main process. Therefore, the correct answer is option B, ink pen. So, whenever a liquid dries because its solvent disappears into the air, the process involved is evaporation. Next question. We see green-colored plastic grass at many places these days. Space around natural grass feels cooler than space around the plastic grass. Can you find out why? Natural grass contains water inside the plants and in the soil around it. During the day, some of this water evaporates into the air. Evaporation always absorbs heat from the surroundings, which causes a cooling effect. Because of this, the air around natural grass feels cooler and more pleasant. And plastic grass does not contain water, so evaporation does not take place. Instead, plastic can absorb heat from sunlight and become warm, making the surrounding area feel hotter. Therefore, the space around natural grass feels cooler than the space around plastic grass because evaporation takes place in natural grass. So, we can write the answer as space around natural grass feels cooler because water from the grass evaporates into the air. Evaporation absorbs heat from the surroundings and produces a cooling effect. Plastic grass does not contain water, so evaporation does not occur. Next question. Give examples of liquids other than water that evaporate. Evaporation does not happen only with water. Many other liquids can also evaporate when they are exposed to air. For example, alcohol evaporates quickly when left open. Petrol evaporates very fast. Perfume evaporates and spreads its smell in the air. Kerosene can also slowly evaporate when exposed to air. These liquids change from liquid state to vapor state, just like water during evaporation. That is why we say many liquids other than water can also evaporate. Next question. Fans move air around, creating a cooling sensation. It might seem strange to use a fan to dry wet clothes, since fans usually make things cooler, not warmer. Normally, when water evaporates, it requires heat, not cold air. What do you think about this? So, it may look confusing because evaporation needs heat and a fan gives cool air, not heat. But the important point here is air movement. When wet clothes are kept under a fan, the moving air removes the water vapor around the clothes. If the air around the clothes stays still, it quickly becomes full of water vapor and evaporation slows down. But when fan keeps moving the air, the moist air is carried away and fresh dry air comes in contact with the clothes. This allows more water to evaporate, so the clothes dry faster. So a fan does not dry clothes by heating them but by increasing the rate of evaporation through air movement. So, a fan helps dry wet clothes by increasing the movement of air. The moving air carries away the water vapor around the clothes, allowing more water to evaporate. As a result, the clothes dry faster. Next question. Usually, when sludge is removed from drains, it is left in heaps next to the drain for 3 to 4 days. Afterward, it is transported to a garden or a field where it can be used as manure. This approach reduces transportation cost of the sludge and enhances the safety of individuals handling it. Reflect upon it and explain how. Sludge means thick wet waste removed from drains or sewage. When sludge from drains contain a lot of waters, it is very heavy and messy. When it is left in heaps, heaps means in piles. So when it is left in heaps for 3 to 4 days, the water slowly evaporates due to heat from the sun and air. Because of evaporation, the sludge becomes drier and lighter, so transportation cost becomes less. It becomes less wet, making it safer for workers to handle. So, leaving sludge for a few days reduces weight and improves safety because of evaporation. So, you can write the answer as when sludge is left in heaps for a few days, the water in it evaporates, making it drier and lighter. This reduces its weight, so it becomes easier and cheaper to transport. The dried sludge can then be safely handled and used as manure in gardens or fields. Next question. Observe the activities in your house for a day. Identify the activities that involve evaporation. How does understanding the process of evaporation help us in our daily activities? Evaporation happens in many daily activities at home. For example, drying clothes in sunlight. Water from the clothes evaporates. Drying a wet floor. The water slowly changes into vapor and disappears. Cooling of water in an earthen pot. During evaporation, water takes heat from the pot and the water inside it. Because heat is removed, the remaining water becomes cool. That is why water stored in an earthen pot feels cooler, especially in summer. Then, sweating in our body. Sweat evaporates from the skin and cools our body. When we understand the evaporation, we can use it in useful ways. For example, we dry clothes in sunlight or under a fan so that evaporation happens faster. We also use earthen pots to keep water cool. Thus, understanding evaporation helps us dry things faster and keep ourselves cool in daily life. Next question. How is water present in the solid state in nature? We know that water can exist in 3 states: solid, liquid and gaseous. When the temperature becomes very low, water freezes and changes into the solid state. In nature, solid water is found in different forms such as ice, which is frozen water found in very cold regions, snow, which is soft white ice crystals that fall in cold places, and glaciers, large masses of ice found in mountains and polar regions, and hailstones, small balls of ice that fall from clouds during storms. So, in nature, water exists in the solid state mainly as ice, snow, glaciers, and hailstones. Next question. Reflect on the statement, water is our responsibility before it is our right. Share your thoughts. The statement, water is our responsibility before it is our right, reminds us that water is limited and very valuable. Every living thing needs water to survive, so we must take care of it before demanding it to use it freely. This means we should avoid wasting water while bathing, washing or cleaning. Use water carefully in our daily activities. Keep rivers, lakes and ponds clean and not throw waste into them. Save water for future generations. When people act responsibly and protect water resources, there will be enough clean water for everyone. Therefore, we must treat water as a responsibility as well as a right. So, you can write the answer as water is a very important natural resource needed for life. Before claiming it as our right, we must use it wisely and avoid wasting it. We should save water, prevent pollution of water sources, and ensure that water is available for future generations. Next question. The seat of a two-wheeler parked on a sunny day has become very hot. How can you cool it down? When a two-wheeler is parked in the sun, its seat absorbs heat from sunlight and becomes very hot. If we sprinkle some water on the seat, the water will evaporate. During evaporation, water takes heat from the surface of the seat and the surrounding air. Because heat is removed, the temperature of the seat decreases and it becomes cooler. This happens because evaporation always causes cooling. That is why sprinkling water helps cool down this hot seat quickly. You can write the answer as the hot seat can be cooled by sprinkling a little water on it. The water evaporates by taking heat from the seat, which produces a cooling effect. Now, in the section Learning Further, we have some interesting activities that will help you explore the topic better. First one. Wet one hand with water and leave the other dry. Blow air across both hands and feel the cooling effect. Find out the reasons for it. When one hand is wet with water and we blow air over it, the water on the skin starts to evaporate faster. Evaporation needs heat energy, so the water takes heat from the skin of the hand. So, as heat is removed from the skin, the temperature of the hand decreases and we feel coolness. The dry hand does not have water, so evaporation does not take place there. Therefore, it does not feel cool as the wet hand. This simple activity shows the evaporation causes a cooling effect. So, you can write the answer as the wet hand feels cooler because the water on it evaporates when air is blown over it. During evaporation, water absorbs heat from the skin, which produces a cooling effect. Next one. Make a game to navigate through different states of water and water-related concepts to reach the finish line. Challenge guards with questions related to water cycle, evaporation, condensation, etc. can be some game elements. So, you need to make a game. Create a simple board game or path game like a snake and ladder style path and navigate through different states of water. The path should include ideas like solid ice, liquid to water, gas to water vapor and concepts such as evaporation, condensation, melting, freezing, etc. Some boxes can ask players to pick a card with a question about water. If the player answers correctly, they move forward. If not, they may stay or move back. So, you can ask questions like what is the evaporation, which state of water is ice, what happens during condensation, etc. Next one, discuss with your teacher and act out the stages of the water cycle through a role-playing activity in your school assembly. This activity is a fun role play to understand the water cycle. Different students can play different roles such as sun, water droplets, clouds and rain. This activity helps students visually understand how water moves in a cycle in nature. It also makes learning more interactive and memorable during a school assembly. So with this, we have completed the NCERT question and answers for the chapter A Journey Through States of Water. I hope you found it easy to understand. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We will see you again in our next video. Bye bye.